So welcome back folks, this is Shardul Gawande from Ace Knowledge, and as in the previous video we have seen what is JSON and how JSON objects and JSON array work together to form a complete JSON file. So here we are having a URL which shows a JSON file. So in the browser, if I put this particular URL, I get this JSON file from my server, which is from WebSync Solutions, sponsors. So this is our JSON object. Okay, this is a JSON array with values, with value in the form of key and value, which is ID, and its value is 1 as told earlier, and we have to fetch this particular data in our Android application. Okay, so now let's create it. I've created a project over here already. This is my main activity. Here we have to code the JSON file, JSON parsing, and here in the activity underscore main I've taken a list view, as we want to show this particular data in list format, in list view. Okay, so here list view has been taken, and we have also created another XML file called as list underscore item, where the text views have been placed. There are text views for name, age and course. As I don't want to fetch ID, okay, I just want to fetch the name, age and course of student. So that is the reason I have only taken 3 text view and not assigned any name to this particular text view, just kept it blank and ID has been given. That's it. Okay, the third most important thing, in your build Gradle file you need to import these particular libraries in order to connect to the server. Okay, so this HTTP client, this apache.http client, you need to import these libraries in your Gradle file. Without this you cannot connect to the server, you cannot get the data to the server, as we will be using HTTP URL connection and etc. stuff like that in our main activity.java. Okay, we'll see it soon. And the most important thing, in your manifest file you need to specify your internet permission, users permission, android name as android.permission.internet. If you don't specify this internet permission, your app will not connect to the server. As simple as that. Okay, so now let's start with the coding part. Now we'll here create a string, we'll create a private string and give it as constant, keep it as constant, so that we can use it in order to see in our log files. Okay, here over here to see what data has been coming, what data has been fetched or not. So for that purpose we'll just create a private string, public static string, we'll take a string as tag equal to, we'll say our main activity. Every time this string will be called, it will just load this main activity and check for any errors. Okay, so we'll say get simple name and semicolon. Fine. Now we have a list view over here, so let's call this list view. I'm writing here as list view. We'll keep that list view also private. So list view, alias name as LV, and now we'll pass our URL over here. We'll globally pass our URL so that it is easy for us to call it when needed. URL string URL equal to, we'll just copy and paste this particular URL. Okay, done with this. Now we'll override that particular methods. We'll say @override. This override of methods by default comes. I have deleted it so that to show you right from the scratch. Okay, so bundle, we'll say saved instance, state, super dot, we'll say super dot on create saved instance state. Okay, and we'll set our content as set content view. We'll say r dot layout dot activity underscore main. Fine. Now we'll pass that list view as lv equal to list view find view by id r dot id dot we'll say list. Okay, so now we have done with the passing or giving a reference to this list view and passing of a URL. Okay, so now we need to create a array list, as this particular thing is in array JSON array, so we need to create array list for that. So let's give the name as student list equal to new array list. Okay, semicolon. So it is showing here over error cannot resolve symbol student array list. I think yeah, means we have not cannot resolve symbol student list, means we need to create hash map. We have not created, we have directly used this particular array list without creating it. Okay, so we'll just create it over here globally, as we'll say array list, and that will say hash map. As we hash map, why this particular hash map is used, so I'll tell you. So as told in the theory video, that this is a key and this is a value. For this particular key, this entire thing is your value. Okay, so for that reason we have hash, which maps the key and value pair. So let me show you again. If I write here hash, you can see it over here, k comma v, which is nothing but your key and value. Hash map is basically used to map your key and value. Okay, so we'll select this hash map and we'll say string comma string, as we want the format in string. So, and we'll declare here our name as student list. Okay, so here we are getting an error. Yeah, it is double brackets over here. Okay, so here again it is saying expected some bracket is missing, I guess. Yeah, we want one more angle brackets over here. Fine. Okay, so this error is gone. We need to create first hash map of a particular array list and then map it to this particular array list. Okay, as a new array list. Now once we have done with this creating and assigning or giving the reference to our list view and array list, now we have to start with the most important part, which is nothing but async task. So we'll say public class, we'll say get details, we'll give name as get details, extends async task, and we'll keep everything as string, as we want data in string format. So we'll say string comma string. Okay, and open and close curly braces. So here we need to, again, as with our traditional method, need to implement some methods. So we'll say here as right click and we'll go to generate and we'll say not implement, we'll say override methods, generate and override methods. So we need to override this particular on pre-execute, post execute, and do in background, and we'll say okay. So done with our overriding of methods, and now we'll code in the pre-execute part. So we'll say as speed, we'll give a name as dialog equal to new progress dialog, and we'll say pass our main activity dot this. Okay, so here it is showing some error, expression expected. Okay, I think so we need to declare that particular dialog over here at the very top. So we'll declare it as private, we'll say progress dialog as dialog. Okay, and we'll use this dialog over here. So we'll say dialog. Yeah, the next is again we'll say dialog equal to dialog dot, have to set the message as, we'll say please wait. Okay, then again dialog dot, we'll say set on cancelable, as in, yeah, set cancelable as false, so that it is not cancelled, it will keep on loading. And again dialog dot, we have to show it. Okay, so done with the pre-execute part. Now we'll come to do in background and then to post execute. So in do in background, we'll first declare a string over here as value in order to check whether the URL is been passed or not in this particular string value. So we'll keep this string as value, and this value will also be used to check whether our JSON object is been passed or not, is passing or not. Okay, so we'll have a statement over here as try and catch. Okay, we'll write with the try statement, as we have to now create a URL, create a connection with the URL. So we'll say as java.net.url space URL equal to, we'll create this object as new URL, and it will pass this URL over here. Okay, this URL which we have used will pass over here, this particular URL. Now it's showing exception as malformed. Okay, we have not code further, so that is the reason it is showing error. So we'll now say HTTP URL connection in order to open a connection with the server, and equal to, we'll say HTTP URL connection space URL dot open connection, and here semicolon. Now we need to open this connection. We have opened this connection, and we need to get the get the details or get the URL using method get. So we'll use the get method in order to get the particular data. So we'll say con dot set request method. We'll set the request method as get. Okay, and we'll say con dot connect. Now we'll take buffer reader in order to read that particular data. It should read, right, and then only it will fetch. So it will read that particular data with the help of this buffered reader, and we'll say new input stream reader to read each data line by line. Com dot, we'll say get input stream. Okay, we'll say as input, it is con dot. Okay, by mistakenly it was com. It is con dot, we'll say get input stream, and then here semicolon. Okay, now we have to pass that particular buffered reader to this value or string, as it has to read and store it over here in this value. Okay, this value we have declared it over here. So we'll say value equal to bf, which is buffered reader dot read line, to reach each and every line. Okay, and we'll print it over here so as to check. We'll say system.out.print ln, and in bracket we'll say as logged in, and we'll pass this value over here. Okay, now we have to check whether this value, now we have to use this value and check whether if it is null or not. If it is not null, then we have to pass a JSON object. Okay, so we'll say if condition over here, and we'll say if value is not equal to null, then inside if condition we will have again try and catch blocks. Okay, so in the inside this try we'll write JSON object. We'll create a JSON object, say JSON object equal to new, we'll say JSON object, and we'll pass that value over here. Okay, now to get JSON array, to get this particular JSON array, okay, we have to code as, say, JSON array. We have a function over here as JSON array. We'll give the name as student equal to, we'll say JSON object dot, we'll ask this JSON object to get this particular JSON array, and we'll pass our array name, which is nothing but over here you can see student. Okay, so we'll pass that student over here and semicolon. Now we have opened up with this particular array the student. Now we have to loop through all these values. Okay, so for that reason we have to create a for loop. So we'll say for, into bracket we'll say int, take int I equal to, we'll say 0, and it should travel through as many array it will get appended. As of now there are only 2, but just imagine if there are 50 values or 50 IDs, so it should go till the end. So we'll say as I less than equal to I less than, we'll say student dot length, nothing but your array length. Okay, we have given our array name, JSON array name as student, and semicolon, then I plus plus. And now we'll open this for loop and parse our JSON object over here. We'll say JSON object, we'll say s equal to array name was student dot, we'll say get the JSON object from that particular array, and we'll pass our I value over here. Okay, now we'll say string, assign those values in string format. So as I don't want ID to be fetched, so I'll start directly with the name part. I'll say in string name is equal to s, which is our JSON object, dot get string, and we'll pass the name over here. Then second it was age, so s dot get string to bracket, we'll pass age over here. And the third it was course, so we'll say s dot get string and then course. Okay, so now in this manner I have passed JSON object into the string format and assigned it to particular string, that is name, age and course. Okay, so now I need to put this particular, I fetch this and now put this, I need to hash map and put this back into the string. So I will hash map this key and value. So I need to write as hash map kv, which is nothing but your key value. We'll say string over here, comma string again, and my array name was student. It was no, not my array name, actually my hash map name, what it was, student list. Okay, it was not student list, I think it was, I have to create a new hash map again for each and every data, that is your name, age and course. So need to create a new hash map. So we'll give a name as students, we'll say student hash equal to, we'll say new hash map. Okay, and we'll put semicolon over here. Now we need to put that particular JSON objects in our string. So we'll say student dot put into bracket our key, which was name, comma our value, which is nothing but our string name, which is also the same name. Got it? Same for the rest. So student dot, we'll say put age, comma age, again student dot put, and say course comma course. Okay, so now you put the values and need to bind it with the array list, which was student list, and say dot add, and we'll pass that student hash value over here. Okay, so this we have newly created a hash map for this particular name, age and course, and we have binded this hash map to a student list. Okay, array list which we have created above. Now in the catch statement we need to write, we'll say final JSON object, JSON exception, not object. Okay, give value as e, and inside this we'll say now log dot e. Log dot e stands for log dot error, e stands for error. Now we'll pass that tag value over here, string tag, which we have defined privately globally. So we'll pass that tag over here in order to check. If not in catch try, then in catch it will check what is the error, whether the URL has been passing or not. So we'll say JSON passing error, and we'll concatenate it e dot message, e dot get message. Okay, and semicolon. We'll say run on thread, UI thread. On the UI we need to show some data, right? So we'll say over here as new runnable. We have here as runnable over here. It will override the method run, and there we'll print our message as toast.make text, so that if exception occurs, catch, it will go into the catch, it will print the message and it will show in our toast form. We'll say as get application context, comma, we'll say JSON parser, JSON parsing error, and we'll say plus e dot again get message, and comma, we'll say toast dot length underscore, we'll keep it as long only, dot show. Okay, and here semicolon. So this will print, let's take it down. Okay, get message, why it is showing error, cannot resolve symbol, toast dot length underscore we have kept as long. Okay, we have not here there should be no dot. Okay, let me type it again, maybe some mistake. We'll say toast dot length underscore long, we'll close this bracket, and then we have dot show. Okay, so done with this particular catch statement. So we have done with let us check. We have try, we have if, then under if we have try and catch. Now we have to work with the else part is pending, right? So we'll say else, and else part will again have to print as log dot e, we'll say tag, comma, we'll say could not get JSON from server, so semicolon. Again the same, run on thread, we'll say new runnable, and again in void underscore run will copy this particular thing, paste it over here. We'll just change change the message over here. We'll just copy this message only, could not connect. These are all the exception parts. Okay, server will say check your log cat. Okay, and here we'll not set our message, we'll directly print in a toast format. And we have still one catch pending over here as exception E. We'll say in our statement print as system dot out. This is our, I think so, first catch. Yeah, that is the catch of this particular try block while opening URL connection. If not, then we'll say system dot out dot print the error, print A, simply print A. Okay, now let's come to our post execute. We have over here, where is our post execute? Over here. Okay, so in post execute we need to pass, we have used it over here, so we need to pass these values to our list view, right? So we'll say over here in our post execute, we'll again have no condition. We'll say if our dialog dot, we'll say is showing, then we'll say dialog dot simply dismiss it. If it is showing, then if the progress dialog is showing, then simply it will say as dismiss it, and update our past JSON data into list view. So for that we need to create adapter to update our past JSON data, which over here we have done. We have to update it in list view or show it in our list view right over here in the format of list view. So we need to create a list adapter, say adapter equal to, we'll say new. All this will be in the post as it is after fetching of our data. Say simple adapter main activity dot this comma our array list to bind that particular to that particular array list, which is student list. We'll say as r dot layout dot, we have a first value as name, so we'll say as, so we need to first bind it to a layout, which is nothing but our list item. Over here there are values name, age, so we need to give reference to this particular list item and then to the values of those string. We'll say new string into array, will pass that particular values, which is nothing but name comma age comma in double quotes comma course. Why am I missing that double quotes? I don't know. Comma course, and then we have again need to assign those values, this string values, to values in our layout file, or simply our ID. So r dot ID dot, we'll say name comma r dot ID dot, second was age. These were our string value, right, which we have fetched. It was in the string format, and we are assigning it to our IDs, which is nothing but this ID, name, age. So they are in int, so we have created a new array called int, and we are simply passing those particular values. The last was r dot ID dot course. Okay, and here semicolon, and we need to adapt it by setting the adapter to our list view as l dot set adapter and adapter. Okay, so here we are done with our post execute part. Now let's check if there are any errors over here. It says that cannot resolve. Okay, there are some, I think so, header files or some missing over there. So let's check over here also. It is showing some error. This colon, I guess it is out of the double quotes. Yeah. So, and what else without if. Okay, so we do have a if statement, right? I think so. It has not been closed. This is catch. Okay, the if statement, is it closed? Now it is closed. Okay, yeah, you can see it over here. This is the advantage of Android Studio. We can see immediately over here up which bracket is open. So the if was not closed, I guess. Okay, so now let's check it again. This is a try. Is it closed over here? It should not get closed over here. catch or finally expected. Okay, so I think so this is extra one. Oops, went something wrong. Is it fine now? Let me check it again. Okay, yeah, it was the two times the try had been closed, so that was the error. So let's see, this error still persists. It says cannot resolve, symbol is okay. So this error, I guess it is showing over here, content of student as are required but not. Okay, 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 so here it should be student hash, okay, and not student. Okay, this particular hash string we need to, yeah, as we are mapping this key and value with using hash, so here it will come as student hash. Okay, so by mistakenly I have to put over there student. Okay, so now it's gone. So now let's check with the code. Let's run it. Where is the emulator? Okay, so here you can see JSON parsing has been done. We can see the value ABC. This is the name of the student, this is his age, and BSCIT is the course. For the second, the name is DEF, age is 21, and course is MCA. So you can check it over here in the URL. The same value has been fetched and displayed over here in our Android in the form of list view. Okay, so as the IDs or the array will be go on increasing, automatically here the list view will be scrollable. It's our JSON. So that's it from this video. We have seen it practically how JSON passes with the help of key and value. This is our main JSON object through which we can get the data from the array student or simply any array name, and then we need to put that particular data to, or you can simply say as hash, that particular key and value pair in this and pass it to our student list, which is nothing but our array list, and simply display it over here in the form of list adapter by using list adapter and passing the name, age, course, or any parameters or any key or value or any key to this to its particular ID in the list view, which is over here, name, age. Okay, so that's it from this video. Thank you very much, and please do subscribe.